Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a coffee talk. Could be some sound issues, new computer, but coming from you from the left side of the Atlantic is Guido.
And from the correct side of the Atlantic is Pilgrim with his old school Guido mug. Get one today.
Excellent.
Old school.
I got the Tank Museum mug.
Oh, excellent. Good for you, mate. That's another $5 you've just earned yourself as commission from the Tank Museum.
Doing some good work. Bonzi, thanks for the sub. Good morning, everyone. How are y'all doing? Let me know how the sound is going. Because, knock wood, we are on the new computer.
Woo.
And I daren't say how it's going, lest the...
don't say anything.
Yeah, lest the gremlins decide that
Yeah.
something needs to change. But so far, so good. I do have a small review coming out tomorrow on it, and actually morphed into a tour of my man cave for some reason. But anyway, relatively random video going on tomorrow. But we'll talk a little bit about the thing. Right now, I've got the sides off of it because I've been doing some upgrades. I threw 16 gig of extra RAM into it, so now I'm up to 32. So that's good. Unfortunately, I had to do a little surgery because I had to drop a fan down that was in the way. But good news is it was easy to get to and easy to put back in. So.
Oh, you only dropped it down just to put the RAM in?
Just to put the RAM in. Yeah, I needed it out of the way because I couldn't quite sneak the RAM up underneath it and push it down there. So
what RAM you got in there? Are you using Crucial or what?
Yeah, Ripsaw or I don't remember. Something.
Yeah. Not with bright lights on it or anything like that.
It does have the RGB.
Oh, it does have lights.
Yeah, it came with them, so I just matched them. Yeah, we're all lit up down here. We got all kinds of rainbow colors.
Who needs extra lighting in your man cave?
Yeah, we got all kinds of mess going on with this thing, but it's not nearly as I talk about it in the video, but it's not nearly as cool a case. Remember that last case was all glass and tempered glass, and it was just really cool and big. This is more standard. It's kind of got a metal grate on the front, and the side is tempered glass, but it doesn't have hinges. It actually screws on, which is super irritating.
Yeah, because it's so much unscrewing. It's like having to click 3 times to make your tank work, isn't it? You know what I mean? Oh my word, no.
These stupid things.
You need to get quick locks fitted instead. You can buy them, little quick locks that you just twist off.
What I think I'm going to do is buy some hinges.
Oh, yeah, there is that then.
And maybe screw them into the back of the case. There's already holes for these to go through. So there's one hole that I can use to, connect the hinge to the glass, so I don't have to drill through the glass, which is always a little tricky.
Yeah, nice.
So the hole's already there. So I think I can toss some hinges on it. But I tend to leave the sides of my computers open when I'm using them and gaming anyway, because that really helps with the cards, cooling them down.
Yeah.
Does not help with the mocha hair getting in there.
No, I was going to say the dust tends to get attracted to the open space.
But you blow it out every 3, 4, 5, whatever months.
Yeah.
And every year because you forget however it goes.
Once a year, I remove various vestiges of the household out of my computer. I found all sorts of peanuts. I found peanuts in my computer. I don't know how.
Peanuts.
How the peanuts get in my computer? I've no idea.
More than one.
Oh yeah, more than one.
Not like somehow a random peanut got in there.
No,
there's actually
there's a little collection down the bottom of the case. I'm going, how do peanuts get? I'm sure my grandkids.
Is there like a hole they could? Was there some hole in the back or the side or something that could?
Yeah, it's probably they put it in the drive tray of the or something. You know what I mean?
That is awesome, man. That's like
Awesome.
Who was talking about that? Was it somebody on stream was talking about... I think it was one of you guys on stream talking about a guy... Yeah, it was, because we were talking about gateway computers. I don't know if you were there when we were doing that, and he said he got the call about the cup holder thing wasn't working right. You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
The DVD player.
I know, yeah.
Yeah. It comes out, and that's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like. It's got a hole cut out in it, doesn't it?
Wasn't holding the cup. Kept going back in.
It's too floppy, man. This is a crappy cup holder.
Well, I want to say thank you to everybody who said they missed me last week. Poor old sod. I want to say, ha ha, Cliffy, Charlie Brown Linus. Yes, there was a Charlie Brown in my computer.
Did we?
CD, mid-90s, indeed.
Did we miss you?
No, you didn't really, did you? I watched it. I watched it
I did.
later on in the week. And
You saw it, but I did show, and probably most of these people saw it. But we did have footage of the accident that caused you to miss it. So
yeah, that does look like my house, actually.
yeah, nobody was harmed in that accident. Just the ego. Just the ego.
What worries me is that you've got a secret video camera up there somewhere.
Well, every time you see those pigeons,
Is that what it is?
yeah, birds aren't real. Birds.
We'll take them out.
Yeah, birds aren't real. Those are all spy drones,
The drones
from the government.
Specialized Guido drones.
Those are spy drones from the government.
Okay. Who needs Delta Force when you got Guido and a load of pigeons? Eh?
Yeah. CGO, that's exactly right. I don't even. Good morning, Sutek. Odd Dogs here. Cliffy, MC950. We got Wayne, poor old sod, Bonzi. Who else is here? Cliffy, I think I said. Right on. Thanks for coming, guys. So yeah, it's Sunday, and we're having our coffee. I hope you guys got your coffee. I have. I don't know if it's Sumatra or French roast because I just grabbed one out of the bucket. So it's one of those two. Hello, Doctor Who.
Since we're being open, honest, and frank, I've actually got teabag tea today. I was just a bit late in making the tea, so I just lobbed tea bags into the cup. Good.
That's a significant admission from an Englishman.
It is. It's not loose tea. It's a PG tips, unfortunately. So Her Majesty's tea is still languishing in the cupboard in the kitchen.
It'll find its way to a cup sooner or later. So
I'll get the house general to make it.
Speaking of England, have you ever watched the show called Peaky Blinders?
I have, yes. Yeah. I got accused of being Peaky Blinders at one point.
Oh yeah, you got the razor up there.
Yeah, well, yeah, I can do that as well. Look, that's how he wears it.
Is that what it is? My wife and I.
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm all right because he's talks Birmingham.
Yeah, my wife and I got stuck on that, and we've been power grinding that thing. We have about 2 episodes, I think. There's 5 seasons or 4 or whatever it is.
Yeah. There's another new season coming out.
Is it really?
Yeah. They've got I think season 6 or something is about to be unleashed on British TV.
I've enjoyed it because they sort of follow the happenings of the 20s, the roaring 20s, and then the last season is the crash, the stock market crash, and you know, the rise of fascism and and communism, all this stuff is tied. It's really cool.
Historically, I would take it with a pinch of salt, though.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he had dealings with
No.
with Churchill. No. Like, he may well have done. I don't know. You know what I mean? They use
that's like a popular genre. These historical, these historic dramas with characters that probably didn't exist or are very loosely tied to maybe somebody who have dealings with all these famous people. But they're always backdoor stuff, so it's the plausible deniability thing and whatever.
Yeah.
So you can sort of go with it and go, okay. There's probably not a guy like that, but he wasn't a historical figure. He's the mover and shaker guy behind the scenes and stuff, and you can enjoy it because it ties it into the historical piece, and you can.
It just gives it a little air of reality, doesn't it? So
right.
Cool. Yeah.
I enjoy the historical aspect of that. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Channel news, guys. 100 Battle Challenge T56 is next. I don't know if I finished one lately. I think. Oh, the 2801. I finished the 2801. Got it to 2 mark before I got done with it. I haven't played EU. Decent. Yeah, I did all right with that.
Yeah.
55% or 54%, I think, win rate on that EU update. Nothing done for the last 3 or 4 days on that. As I said, the computer is up and running and doing well. So next stream Monday, I think, tomorrow. I thought I had Monday and Tuesday off. In fact, I probably mentioned that on stream. So here's what happened with that. For 8 years, I've been in this job since I retired. And we have the day off sheet. It's a PDF that the boss man keeps. And he's got our names across the top. And when I first joined the crew, somebody else had left, and they put my name in that slot. So it was not in any order other than where your name went in. Well, my name went in the first column.
Yeah. Which is quite right, sir.
Yeah. But it's not alphabetical in any way.
Okay.
Yeah. Goes in the first column. So the new one comes out, and he's reworked it. We no longer have one day off every week. It's every 2 weeks, and then there's maybe a telework day, and there's some other crap going on. So it's changed, basically. What I did not realize is he took that opportunity to put everyone in alphabetical order. So I just automatically look at the first column. It's easy to catch the eye, right? The first column's Guido's.
Yeah,
right?
that's me. That's Guido.
So I look down. I'm like, oh, that is so awesome. That traveling one day that shifts every 2 weeks happens to be Tuesday, the whatever it is, 18th. I'm like, that's a 4-day weekend. I'm gonna have Monday and Tuesday because Monday's a federal holiday for us.
Oh right, okay.
MLK, I think, Martin Luther Day. So I'm like, that's great. And then I got the schedule, and I always check the schedule because sometimes they need you to come in or something changes or they just forget that your day off or whatever. You don't want to not show up, right? So I'm looking at the schedule.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm scheduled. I'm like, what? So I'm like, that's BS. But before I sent the angry email, I'm like, let me go look at it in case I saw something wrong. And I'm looking at it, and I'm frick. So now I'm somewhere in the middle.
Which now you actually have to look properly at it to
Yeah.
see what's happening in your life.
And even better than that, then I started looking down the rows, and they've missed one of my days. Like it all kind of shifts for everyone, you know, and it kind of makes a diagonal, and the diagonal goes and it shifts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even get a day off.
No,
Like, son of a.
no, he's got your number, mate. I tell you, he's working you to the bone. He really is.
First world problems. The stream is going to be probably a little bit goofy today, guys. You probably already noticed that it's a little bit, and I can see that it's back and forth. The problem we have here is we got about 30-mile-an-hour winds today. It's blowing like crazy. So anytime our cables start swinging around, it gets a little goofy. So I can already see it's back and forth. It's not too bad, but it is affecting it a little bit.
Is it right? Here's the question. Florida being swampland, is it not ideal to put the cable in the ground then? Or are the cables in the ground, but you're on about something else?
You can, but that is not how the infrastructure was done here.
Right, okay.
In the states writ large, they are doing it in newer builds, especially in suburban areas.
Right.
But in most of America is telephone
up on poles.
Yeah.
The only advantage with that is less disruption to replace. So if you had copper cabling and you wanted to put fibre optic in, then it was quite easy just to do it because it's above ground. You're not going to close roads up and dig up.
Well, it's easier to get damaged in storms, but it's also easier to repair. It's ugly. It's but and the swampy bit does hurt. You have to take that into account when you're burying cables around here.
Sure.
But yeah, all of ours is on poles. Looks, which is one of the things that we got crushed with on the hurricane. It just
everything.
Yeah, the whole grid in this town had to be rebuilt.
Wow.
The whole grid.
And that has so much knock-on effect, doesn't it? Because all your communication and everything else that goes with it is above ground and gets smashed out. You're basically back to the Dark Ages, aren't you? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not good.
Yes, you
Bosses, good morning.
Pilgrim did plan this whole auction event, so
I did. I was the undercover guy who decided that some of these tanks were going to be 30,000 gold.
He said, "I have a plan for porting Pilgronomics into World of Tanks auctions." In reality, you're saving gold by this plan.
We are, because what happens is you spend the gold that you earned from the loot boxes or bought from the loot boxes to buy the tanks, and then you can sell them for silver and make millions of silver credits to keep you playing the game. It's simple, isn't it?
Very
simple.
We will cover the tanks. I did not know that, Sutek. That's good. That's interesting. So fiber optics aren't as sensitive to the wet. I guess that makes sense, right? It's plastic and glass. Plastic coating and glass, I guess, is not going to rot like copper or metal or any of the other stuff would. In a fairly new developed area, all the subdivisions are underground. But yeah, exactly. Yep, it'll come in on the big stuff, and then absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, all of the transmission lines are the big old towers, which I'm assuming you guys probably have the same thing going on.
Yeah, we do, and then we got substations which then drop it into the ground.
Right.
So this is the argument I have with my current provider. They're saying, we give you ultra-fast broadband because we're fibre optics. I said, no, you're not. you're only fibre optics to your ground server to my house. Above, it's still copper. I said, so you're not giving me fibre optics everywhere. You're just giving it from the server to my, or from the little green box at the top of the road to my house.
Oh, good
And you're
call.
asking me to pay premium.
Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you, man.
No. I'm
Shine. I just read Clippy's
my
thing.
box is
And,
covering up the chat.
let me find chat. Where did I put it here? I'm resetting everything. Yeah, I've got to reset everything, guys. So good call. In fact, I can make this much larger for everybody to read when we're in the coffee shop here.
Yeah, you need these. Look,
All right, there we go.
Cliffy, get your glasses on, mate.
All right. Thanks, Cliffy.
Yeah, I've got the Guido glasses on today. Look, I haven't got my bottle tops. I've got the Guido glasses.
Can't believe I have to wear glasses, man. Let's see. New computer. We talked about it. We won't belabor that. Next stream, we talked about it Monday. All right, let's talk missions and specials. Shall we shill?
I think we need
Is it time to shill?
There we
Bring
go.
it.
Shilling
Bring
for the
it.
first time in 2 weeks.
All right, now this transition, did it work? Yes, it did. All right, very good, very good. And I even have.
It's also nice to see your blue light working first time as well.
Yeah, I think it's loosened up, right? It's
Yeah.
it hasn't stuck.
Nothing to do with me sneaking into your house in the middle of the night and fixing it for you.
That's a little bit weird. A little bit
It
weird.
says, isn't it? I actually live 3 streets away. Did you not know?
Yeah, I didn't actually know.
Yeah. This is all just a facade.
Come
This
on,
makes
man.
you think I'm in UK.
I'm gonna move this over so we can see the chat. So there we go.
There you
It's a
are.
little different, folks. It's a little different, but we're gonna go with that. All right.
It's stickler. What is fibre optics?
The Fibre Premium Shop. What do we got? Probably not very much, really. Let's see what's going on here, though. The E25 is for sale, Pilgrim.
At the lowest price it's been forever.
Is it?
Ever since. Yeah, it's
$29.
cheap as chips.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
There's
I mean,
gonna
does
be
it really
thousands
matter
of
now?
them,
I mean, look at the things they're selling in the auction. Maybe not the 113 Beijing Orchestra, but that 268 V5 and then this autoloader that's today. Holy cow. We got some packages, got some of the exclusive things. It's really pretty slow. I think there's probably a marathon coming up in February, so that's probably the next big
Yeah,
event.
it feels like that in the water, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're already talking about it. It's not going to be the AMBT because they're selling that right now. Gold, standard stuff, nothing really to say there. This is going to go pretty quick, guys. There's just not much going on here. We go over to
Which
vehicles.
to be expected, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
I mean,
after
we've
Christmas.
had-
Everyone's sort of just
Yeah.
sitting back on the couch and falling asleep.
Yeah. Doing the old uncle thing in the afternoon.
Yeah.
after Christmas.
Farting themselves awake.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what can you say? Just a few vehicles. There's nothing much to get excited about in the shop here. And that's pretty much that, dudes. That is that.
See,
see.
talking about the older uncle at Christmas after the Christmas dinner, sitting in the jet. Have you reached the age? I mean, I have, right? But have you reached the age now where you say anything you like and don't give a damn because you've lived a life so long that really it just doesn't matter. It doesn't. You don't have to be, dare I say it, politically correct. You just because you're of an age, you're like, I don't care what I say anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care. I really don't care.
I think I'm
I don't care
more
about
at
you
the
people.
stage where I don't care what people think. I'm not quite. I don't think I'm quite to the, shouting at clouds yet.
Right, okay, but you're at the stage where you can wear what you like. You can.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you
If I
really
have
don't
black
care what
socks
people
on,
think
if I'm
about it.
walking the dog with tennis with what do you guys call them? You don't call them
With
tennis.
flip-flops and
Yeah,
socks.
if I want to wear sandals and socks, I'll do it. If I want to wear black socks with my tennis shoes while I walk the dog, long black socks,
Yeah.
I will. I don't
Yeah,
care.
exactly. Isn't it nice to be at that stage of life? I'm at that stage of life now where, I mean, the House General will say, oh, you can't do that. Just think what people are saying. I thought, I don't care what people are saying. I'm going to do it. You can't put your bins out a day early. I'm putting it out. I don't care. What are they going to do? Arrest me?
I went by it and put it out. Yeah, trainers, Cliffy. That's the word that the Brits use for
Yeah,
the tennis
trainers.
shoes. Trainers. Yeah. All right, let's see.
Nice place to be in it.
Yeah, absolutely. We got the
Sorry,
weekend
I
missions.
digress.
No, man, that's all we do. The whole point of this is to digress.
No, Randall, my wife doesn't dress me. She won't go near me. Fly up with a stick. Get your clothes on, smelly old man.
Well, what I do, so I walk the dog nearly every morning if I don't have to be in early. So it's maybe 4 to 5 times a week, and not Sunday because we do this on Sunday. But I roll out of bed. I grab yesterday's socks because I throw them off before I go to bed.
Absolutely.
I throw those on. I throw my trainers on. I grab whatever else, shorts. If it's 50 degrees or more, it's shorts. Maybe 45, and some.
Ah,
No, I get my phone
feel the
out.
weather.
I get the
You
phone
feel
out. No, I have 2 ways to do it. I get the phone and I check the
you've
weather.
got it on the phone, right?
Well, I check the weather app,
Yeah.
and that's close sometimes. But then I have a clock that also has a temperature gauge
Oh, you got
outside.
a weather vane thing.
Yeah, and it
Oh,
tells the clock what the actual temperature is. And between those two,
Okay.
so I throw whatever.
My
And
phone
then
doesn't do that. Look.
no, that thing doesn't do anything. It's not even a very good weapon because it's not very big and heavy.
I can't hit anybody with it, can I?
No.
You know,
I mean,
I'm going to phone somebody.
mine would
Yeah,
hurt
can
more than that thing. These are pretty
Oh, it
solid,
would, yeah.
actually.
Oh,
Yeah, that's like a little feather being thrown at
My
something.
my son, as a complete tangent, said, "You can't have a phone like walking around with that, Dad, because that's called a burner phone, and everybody thinks you're a drug dealer." I don't know what you're on about.
Yeah.
It's just my phone.
You do look sketchy, or sketch, as the kids say. You do look sketch with that, man. It has to be admitted. The dog. I think it's kind of both, man. The dog walks me, and I walk the dog. That's
Yeah.
You know what I mean. I don't know.
Well, she knows exactly where she wants to go, and you have to follow.
Yeah, we take the same route. We go down. I'm trying to find a picture of it actually, since we're on a serious tangent here. I'm gonna upload this. We walk down by the water, and then I take a pic. Whoa, my camera went. Come back to me.
You've got all blurry, mate. Yeah, it
Come back to
focused
me.
on because you moved forward. It focused
Yeah, it
on you
did.
forward.
What the hell was I talking about?
Phones.
Oh,
Walking the
phones,
dog.
walking the dog. So we go down by the water, and then that's where she does her business, and I have my little bags. So I have to do that. And it's
The
good.
joys of dog ownership.
It's good if she does it along the water because there's trash cans right there, public trash cans.
Right. Yeah.
But if we make the corner, then I have to carry it for the last third, and I get really mad.
You
And
see all these dog walkers everywhere with these little plastic bags, also trying to hold them at a distance and walk the dog.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
yeah. Oh, I just hold it in my hand with the leash. I have one of those leashes that goes in and out that
Oh,
is
yeah, yeah,
like spring loaded or whatever, and
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
are great. It works for her. It's got the chest harness, which
Yeah,
keeps
cool.
her going. Yeah, so that's the whole whatever the hell the point of that story was, but that's it. That's the story.
That's the story.
I'm
sir.
sticking
I don't
to it.
know.
I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know where we were.
Clippy,
Poop
I mean,
fan. I try not to do
bag
anything.
split. Oh,
Grumpy, we will talk about the
Yeah, we do
MBT.
that,
Yeah, it's in the file, so we'll take a look at that. We're definitely going to do that.
poor old Henry Hawk's now got a Monty Python one-liners going through. I feel your pain, brother. When Monty Python comes up, that's it. I just hear the clips from the films in my back of my head all the time.
Yeah. I don't think the February marathon is going to be Yo Tanks because the premium's already out. I would be surprised if the premium was the marathon tank, right? We just got that in the boxes, so Yo Tanks are going to be released, but I really don't think it's the marathon. If I had to guess, it'd be some Chinese tank. That's always the Lunar New Year thing. I mean, it doesn't have to be.
Picked from. At least a couple, or at least one.
There is a list out there. I think I actually have it.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, so we got a weekend mission thing going on. Nothing super special about that. I think that was everything, really.
Right.
Let's see. A cheer. Oh man, thanks, man. Appreciate it, Gio.
Oh, right, yeah, Riley.
Code is you got this. You got this. That's
Yes.
Commander AF's code. I think it's the FL10, so it's not a tier 8 rental. It's the FL10,
But
I believe.
is it got this with a single T? That's what I didn't check. Or is it with a double T?
Ooh, I don't know.
This is it. In other words, is it you go this as opposed to you got this?
Yeah, I think it's. I would say it's 2 T's.
Okay.
Or you got his. Yeah, it's not a bad tank. Not a bad tank at all. All right, that's it. That's all the shilling, man. That was a weak effort, but we don't have any, you know.
We can't really do a lot of shilling when Wargaming have pushed out so much Christmas stuff.
Yeah, it's all their fault.
It's all their fault.
Yeah.
How dare they?
Yeah, 100%. All right, well, let's get into it. Let's do Battle Pass speculation next.
Yes. Yes.
Battle Pass speculation. So over here on Two Line Push, possibilities. So the first one is the Cobra. British Tier 9 medium tank.
Yeah.
Mr. Cobra. This is a autoloader. Great. 360 alpha. 268 pin. Not bad. Ooh, so it's Hesh, right? 219?
Yes.
Is that what that is? It's got less pen for the Hesh, I guess. I don't. What's going on with that? That's weird. I'm assuming that's
less pen but more damage. That's odd.
122 millimeter gun, 4 shell interclip, heat, 219 HE. Is it just HE or is that Hesh HE? I don't know. Big brother to the Caliban. Oh, great. Well, except that it's not doing 600 or whatever the Caliban's doing.
No.
So, relatively derpy gun, it looks like. 4-second aiming time, which is not Caliban level, but still very painful. Or is it I guess it might be Caliban level.
Might be Caliban, actually, I'm thinking about it.
50 seconds to reload. This seems like this is a regular autoloader, so you're going to wait the whole 50. Yikes. 50 seconds.
Yeah, that's a long, long time, isn't it?
It is. And you're only doing... Okay, so... Yes, the Hesh... Was that some other heat? I don't know. I'm not sure what the colors are. Looks like a heat round and a couple HE rounds, basically. And it said 219, so it is 219. That's crazy, because the damage goes up to 515 in that case. 219 at tier 9 is not much, but it is good for, weak spots. Some of them, anyway.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Not going to do me any good at all, because I don't get on with any form of high explosive ammunition whatsoever, so I can't be bothering with that.
I mean, I don't necessarily see this being as annoying as a Caliban is.
No.
It is theoretically 2,000 burst with the HE round at 219 pen and 515 average damage. But it's HE with HE mechanics, so that probably doesn't translate directly, really. Minus 10 gun depression, fairly derpy at 0.4 dispersion. It is 40 kilometers an hour, so it's not really super fast. And its armor is mediocre. 130 on the turret, 120 on the hull. So that's, I don't know, that'll be interesting. The next one is the Object 590.
Yeah.
Because the Russians don't have enough autoloaders. We're going to have 2 possibilities of Russian autoloaders. Why not? This is a tier 9 medium as well, with 320 alpha, which is actually relatively low for a tier 8. Some of them anyway. Up to 299 with heat. 225 standard is okay-ish. Reload between shells is 3.5 seconds, so it will take you a while to get shells downrange. Has 3 shells, and it's an auto reloader.
Yeah, yeah.
Of the
like
Italian
we don't need
style.
any more of those.
Yeah. So of the Italian style, right?
Yeah, 10, 13, and 16, isn't it? That like we just didn't need that, did we?
The armor's okay. The turret's at 200, not amazing. It is the rounded turret, so that will help. And it's only got 75 on the hull, which is not a lot. It is highly angled, though. 52 kilometers an hour, so decent mobility. Dispersion is horrible at .42. That's atrocious. With a 3-second aiming time, so the gun handling is going to be its irritation. What is this blue? I've never seen blue. What the hell is that?
I don't know. I can't understand what the colours are. I'm assuming that the red is AP.
Oh,
And yellow
I
is
didn't know it
hash.
did that. Did not know it did that.
What did it do?
Oh, no, it's just it's got a mind of its own now. All right, go away. if you press on it, it brings up the big guy.
Oh, it does. Yeah, look that. You can
Yeah.
actually see it better.
It's easier to read.
Yeah, for old people like me.
Yeah. All right, so there you go. We've got possibility of the 590, a auto reloader, Russian. That's because we need more of those. What's funny is you look at this and you've got 320, you got the burst damage of nearly 1,000, so what, 960. It's an auto reloader, which means you're always in the game. It's got decent maneuverability, all this stuff. Okay, turret. And then you come down here and you're like, all right, Swedes, what do you get? Well, you get a single shot 360 alpha with a 10-second reload.
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah. Yeah.
252 standard pen is pretty good, but only with APCR 284 with gold. It's a little rough.
It is a little rough, isn't it, when you think about it? And I mean, both the first and second shells are APCR. So.
What I don't know is if this thing is a press X guy or not. I'm assuming it's the standard. The standard.
Well, it's rear mounted turret, isn't it? So I would assume not. Because
Well, the Swede mediums just do it on their own, so I think they are hydraulic, right, guys? I believe. It's been a while since I played them, but don't they get a little extra after they slow down? Or am I thinking something else?
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Or do they just have really good depression? I don't remember, actually.
Oh no! If you read down the mobility list, it says siege enabled and siege disabled. So there is a siege button with it.
Oh. Where is that?
Right down on mobility, right down the bottom. It's talking about traverse. And then it says siege enabled.
That seems
10
like
kilometers.
Okay, so that's different because you don't have an X for the other Swede mediums, correct?
No, that's right. You don't.
They just do it on their own, or they just have good
Yeah.
depression. However it is they work. So this is an UDES 03 medium version, and it looks like you're gonna get siege. So what does that do with the depression? Or does it not do anything? Where is it?
Well, they've got two figures. They've got 15 and 6 for the elevation, and 7 and 6 with the gun depression, or 15 plus 6. So I don't know what that means.
So
You get an
minus-
extra 6 degrees.
Where is that? Okay, dispersion. Where is the depression on this thing? Why am I not
If
seeing?
you look at mobility, go to the bottom where it says siege disabled, and then come up 4. You've got gun traverse range. You come up
Let's
another
traverse.
2. Gun depression.
Oh, because that should be under mobility.
Yeah,
Okay,
of
so
course it is.
15 and 7, and then you get an extra 6 in siege mode, so you get up to 13.
Yeah,
Huh?
which is something else, isn't it? That's a Ridge fighter and a half, isn't it?
Yeah. What's the turret strength on that thing? It's got health.
Turret armor is 66. Pitiful.
Oh yeah, highly angled, but only 60. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a weird one. A medium with siege mode. There you go. And really not that hard of hitting of a gun. It's only 360.
Yeah.
All right.
But the thing is with that, if you're hull down bit on a ridge, remember that battle we had on the Berlin map, and that guy had angled himself down to get shots through that window.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't even have to do that with 13 degrees of depression. You just sit there,
But-
pull down, angled, and boom away.
But if you're sitting at 66 turret, that was better than I thought.
Yeah.
So that's okay. It would take quite a gun to overmatch that. I was thinking you could
especially
get
if
auto
you're-
overmatched, but only the biggest guns would overmatch that thing.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think a 183 would do it, would it? Math in public. No, it would not.
No, it wouldn't.
No,
No.
it's 180 plus 18, so 198.
Yeah. It would struggle.
Well, there you go. All right, so it's not auto pen or auto overmatch. Then we have the Lorraine 50T. The Lorraine 50T, which I think is an armored. Yeah, so another heavily armored. It is not. It is not an autoloader, so it's just a heavy, actually, as opposed to a medium.
Yeah.
So it's just another.
But it's a pike nose heavy as well. Yeah.
Is that the AMX 50B hull? I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? With a
stronger turret on it instead of
turret,
the oscillating. It's got a regular.
I don't think the guns.
Gun.
Yeah, I think the gun could be. It doesn't say, does it?
264 standard and APCR at 308, which should be enough to deal with most things. 400 alpha is kind of low though.
It is kind of low, considering that as tier 9, you're going to see a lot of tier 10s.
Yeah. 14-second reload, 3-second aim. Dispersion's actually fairly accurate at 0.33 base. That's a decent, and -10 gun depression. That's really nice for a heavy like that. That's really good. And it is at, oh my god, it's fast, 60 kilometers an hour.
Yeah. Well, that's normal with French, but it's normal with French that don't have heavy armor.
Yeah.
So that sort of belies the strength of this tank because of the armor.
So that's fairly fast, man. That'll be a heavyum kind of idea, maybe. -10. All right, so that's not bad. And then, another autoloader. This time a heavy. The Object 752 possibility. It's rocking a 440 alpha, the best of all of these.
Yeah.
318 with APCR gold and 256 standard. But it's a standard autoloader, not an auto reloader.
No, 3 shells in the clip, isn't there?
Yeah,
so
3 shells. With
sort of defender type action going on there.
Yeah, it's like 1,300 burst in what? 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Shoot 3 seconds. Shoot 3 seconds.
Yeah.
6 to 10 seconds, however long it takes to aim in and get your shots.
Yeah.
0.4 is not great, so the gun is a little bit derpy, and the aiming time is fairly long. -8 gun depression is not bad. Not many shells though, only 30 shells.
No. Well, that's pretty standard for Soviet heavies, isn't it?
Yeah.
With the exception of 1 or 2. You don't get a lot of shells.
Ooh, look at this armor. Holy crap. 180 hull with what looks like kind of a pike nose going on. Is that going to work?
Yeah, it's quite rounded, isn't it? It's like I can't...
No, it isn't a pike nose, just rounded. Yeah, look at that.
Very rounded with sort of little flanges attached to it.
And then it's got this, is that... Oh, it's an oscillating turret. Ish. It's kind of like it's kind of like the Yo tank Mivy. It's got the hinge right there and this armor. So I don't know. I wonder if so. You know what they did with the Mivy is they did not make that spaced armor. It's just acts as standard armor thickness.
Right. Okay. So still part of the hitbox.
Well, yeah, the hitbox is behind it, but in terms of the mechanics, it's not spaced armor mechanics.
Oh, okay, got you. Yeah. So it has no effect at all. So
right,
it's just static. Okay.
Yeah. So 330 is a lot, and 150 on the hull. So that seems like a heavily armored beast right there. I mean, 330 turret. That's especially with some kind of rounding and stuff. We'll have to see if there's any weak spots on it or whatever. But
yeah,
that's thick. She's thick, boys. And then we got another WZ. We have another WZ, which is going to bring me to another topic in a minute, but the Chinese heavies. But now we have another WZ 114. Not the 1-1, but just the 114. Holy cow, 530 damage.
Oh, look at that.
Man, 266 standard, that's good. 311 with gold, usable. Long reload, 17 seconds.
Yeah.
0.33 dispersion is pretty darn good for Chinese guns.
And I think it's gonna feel a little bit like the top tier Polish heavy tanks, with the amount of damage that it does.
Yeah, like the 50
with a big
50
slappy
TP.
gun.
Yeah, -10, good depression. We're rocking. It's slow, 33. Holy cow, that is really slow. And strong turret at 300 and good hole at 140.
Yeah.
Very nice. Look at that thing. Okay, and that's it. So I don't know if any of those really look like a stinker. I think the only one that I question, well, I don't know about the Udez. It's that gimmick thing going on. People who like that gameplay style will probably like it. But I think this one is also maybe not really sure how that's going to go down, the Cobra.
No.
But
it's going to be one of those niche tanks that some people like to play and will say it's a good thing, and then majority will go, actually, rubbish. It's a bit Manticore-ish. You know, you do very well the Manticore. There's a lot of other CCs that go, yeah, the Manticore's good, but only for a good player. Do you know what I mean? It'll
okay
be that
with it.
kind of niche.
Yeah, I do okay with it. I was.
Yeah.
So it looks like the Chinese tank and the 2 Russian tanks and the French tank all look pretty strong.
Yeah.
That's kind of a gimmick. Could be interesting. This one, Cobra, could be a gimmick too. I mean, yeah, it's got 4 shells and it's doing 360. So in the right situation, if you can clean out near deads. Especially if you've got the hit points to go out and maybe take a hit or two and shut people down. And this 515 damage with 219 HE, that's kind of, I'm assuming that's Hesh, is kind of interesting. We'll have to see what happens with it.
Yeah, it will be. I mean, of course, the caveat for all of this, it's all in super test, so things could change. It depends how much it comes out. You've had a first-time chat from Rebel Slay.
Hey,
hello.
Welcome, man. Welcome. Much appreciated. Welcome to the show. Let's see. All right, so that's the Battle Pass 2022 speculation. Doing any ranked, Pilgrim?
No. Oh, I did it last time for the first, I don't know, the first couple of days, and then I just went, I can't do this. Not because it's too late. I don't mind doing it late into the night if it's a weekend. It's fine. It's just a cluster. It's an absolute cluster. You're like, I can't get into the mode because the mode is so dictated by overpowered play with overpowered tanks. As far as I'm concerned, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Leave it to the big boys.
I've gone back and forth on it. I mean, that's kind of the point, right? It's supposed to be ranked, so yeah, bring all your best toys and your best tank and your best gameplay and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We've talked about it so many times. I don't like the time gate. Guys are talking about it in chat. I agree with that. Rebel Slay, by the way, thank you. I know I said it a little bit earlier, but I didn't catch your name. Rebel Slay 420. Appreciate you coming by, man. Yeah, time gate, don't like. Not particularly fond of the gameplay. I do like 10v10 better than 15v15.
I would have preferred 7 versus 7, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You have more of an impact with that, I think.
But we discussed this on stream last time I streamed. I just don't play generally in the evening, so it's just really a non-starter. There's no point of even worrying about it. I'd love to be able to get the tanks and the rewards, but it's unfortunate too that And again, it's like, all right, bring your big boy toys or big boy stuff. Yes, there's going to be good rewards. So I get participation trophies aren't my thing. I would like to be able to get stuff like that some other way that other than playing a mode I can't stand. But that's what it is, man. You either do it or don't. That's the end of the day right there.
No, it's an aspiration I would like to do, but it's just the whole thing. Personally, I think I'm probably just not at that level. I mean, I can go and play ranked, of course you can. Anybody can play it, but actually, if you want to be competitive, I don't think I'm at the level that's going to actually give me any gratification for spending time doing it. So it's off my card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've had a question, Defects. What?
Oh, yeah.
Did I miss your opinion on the next item in the auction? We haven't covered the auction yet, Defects. I think we're going to do that at some point.
Let's do that now. Let's do that now.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. First things second. Let's go here. We're going to go in the comparison tool. It struck me as the 113 Berlin Orchestra came out, which is a reskin, and I realized nobody can get that. You either got it or you didn't. That was the first day item. That, Chinese heavies. So now we have 2 of the same tank. These are basically the same right here. And the only difference that we're going to find is when we come down here, we're going to find that the camo is slightly different because this is a permanent camo. So when I configure, I go 100% cruise and take everything off, but I can't take the camo off. So I suppose I could put the camo on the 113, but it's the same tank.
Yeah.
And then recently, last year, we had the WZ-111 QL, which is the exact same tank as the WZ-111 5A.
Yeah.
However, they're basically all the same tank.
Yes.
So I'm like, well, how similar are they? And so I jumped in here and I go, okay, so these two have 440 alpha. The WZs are at 490. I'm like, all right. Penetration is 1 off. Rate of fire is similar. We'll get to the DPM in a minute. Gun loading is similar. So we've got more alpha for these guys, slightly more alpha, longer reload, a little less alpha, faster reload. -7 gun depression across the board. Similar aim times, a little worse here. Similar dispersions, 0.35 versus 0.37. DPM is basically the same at 2754 for one group and 2736 for the other. Hit points are close within 100. Armor is very similar. Good turrets and decent holes. Slightly advantage on the WZs. Slight advantage of WZs. Of course, they're different shapes too, so you know how you play them is a little different as well. The speed, 45 and 50. Oh man, I mean they're basically 4 of the same tanks. All at tier 10. This is where we are.
This is like, I mean, but whatever. However, it's reskinning the cat, isn't it? It's really just it's the same old tank pushed out in a different format to either make money or the auction thing just smashed me in the face straight off with the very first auction. I clicked on it and I looked at the suggested price that they'd put in, you know, the sort of bid that will make an effect, and it was just stupid gold. And I was like, stupid gold. I'm not even going to consider it. Or stupid XP is the other one.
Yeah, Sutek, you're probably right there. And to be fair, they're tie-ins or extra skins essentially. So, you know, nowadays they might just make a skin for it. But if you're going to do a tie-in with a show or something else, then you're probably going to make a unique tank, not just a skin. So there's a lot of stuff going on. But basically, you have 4 tanks with very, very similar capabilities. And I think Cliffy or somebody was saying one of them has better armor. Cliffy says the 113 has better armor in practice. I would agree with that. The pipe noses are hard to use the way the game is played, and they're probably a net negative a lot of times. Whereas these square ones, in terms of, you know, angling and peeking around corners and stuff like that. I will say one advantage that the WZs have, though, is that their turret is forward. The 113 turret is centered, and you stick a lot of tank out before you get your gun online. So that's a little bit of a negative on these. And when they're forward turrets, I find those a little easier to use on corners, things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, poor old sod. Personally, it has to be, right? Because they have so many tanks right now. So I think it's just gonna. What are they gonna do? It's not like they're gonna create a new tier or.
Well,
they might create a new nation. You know, maybe they get Israeli or who knows if there's another line of tanks coming. But they could explore things. They've talked about Japanese TDs or Chinese, not Chinese, Japanese TDs, I think. So I think there's some lines in development that are going to be unique.
They're starting to reach the end game with the available tank lines that they can actually do, because if they're basing it on from the First or the Second World War up to the 60s, they're going to reach a point where there are no other tanks either are blueprinted or, you know, that were in the pipeline at the time. At some point, they're going to have to look at, do they go tier 11 or 12 or something else, because they'll reach a point where there are no other tanks of that genre, you know?
I don't think they're going to go to 11 because it would blow up the end game stuff that all the top tier players have been doing for so long. I would be very surprised if they did anything like that. That would be such a wrench thrown into all the grinding and things everyone have done for 10 years. But that's just my opinion. Who knows? You know, the unique things, like someone was saying, check TD. So a line of tanks in a nation of a class that they don't have. That would be truly kind of a unique new thing.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, every tank at every tier is within a certain window of stats, because that's what that tier has, right? You're only going to have so much. There are outliers on occasion. You got the Tog at tier 6 with 1,500 hit points, something silly, but those are exceptions. The rule is they're all within. All the mediums and 8 are within a certain amount of hit points generally, and when you up tier it, you get more hit points. So stats wise, everything is pretty close. Some combinations just work better. Some tanks have enough advantages in stats that they're just better. Looking at you, go to T56 with your ridiculous alpha and all the things going on for it, and the two-shot burst and all that stuff. But in general, tanks in tiers and classes are all more or less the same. They have to be. That's how you kind of balance things. So on the one hand, you want to have imbalances to make it interesting, but you want it to be balanced close enough that it's not. You don't have clearly better tanks. Now we obviously have problems with that because that's not perfect. We certainly have tanks that are overpowered. That's a whole other subject, though.
It
Yesterday's
it makes mediocre players like me look good, so I'm quite happy with an overpowered tank.
Hey, it makes good players look good. Look at my Skoda 256 stats; they're head and shoulder above the rest of my tier 8s. I'm currently averaging, I think, 2,500 DPG.
Really?
And all my other tier 8 heavies are 18, maybe up to 2,000. So now I'm only at 70-something battles, but the thing is just clearly stupidly overpriced.
Yeah.
Overpowered. Probably
Overpowered,
overpriced.
yeah.
Probably both, actually. Probably both.
Probably both, yeah.
The 268 is yesterday's. This one, I'm going to have to play it, man. 750 alpha. So that's what that's what all the big kids are carrying, right? There's not very many guns bigger than that. Are there any 850s left? I don't know. I guess the Death Star and the theoretically the Death Star and the JPZ can do more.
Yeah.
Penetration at 303 standard. What is the gold pen, guys? Does anyone know the gold pen on this ridiculous thing? Rate of fire is very slow, 18 seconds, nearly 20 seconds. Slow turret, but it does have a turret. -5, not great gun depression. Not bad dispersion at 0.35. That's not bad, actually. And
for a big old gun that it is,
yeah.
395 says Cougar for the gold ammo.
That's a lot. And then DPM is not very good, actually, at 2395. It just hits hard. Yeah, I can change everything on the configure 100%. We can do that. And it'll go to 395. All right. So it's okay. The turret is not great, but usable, especially against lower tiers. But 230 isn't going to stop a whole bunch. It is angled. It does have a
I was going to say, because it's a turret also, you can move it rather than
right.
it being static. So you might get those auto bounces.
Yep. Decently fast, actually. 48 is okay. I mean, it's going to get it around where it needs to get to, and it will allow you to reposition decently. And we come down to camo and all that, but one of its big negatives, and you can't see it. Well, you can barely see it. It's 360 on its view range, which is not amazing.
No.
So now let's go to finally get to the question everybody had. Let's grab the Tier 8 US tank. That has just come out. If we can, we need a medium, not a heavy. AMBT, if it's in here, it should be. It's not. Oh, yes, it is. Okay, there we go. All right, so we'll configure the old AMBT 100%. There we go. And what do we got? So we've got a penetration of 215, and we have a gold round doing 278, which is okay. Not bad, actually, for a Tier 8. We've got a auto reloader action, longer for the first shell, faster for the last ones, which is dropping 360, so that's a pretty good burst.
Yeah.
Total reload's 44.1 seconds for all of them, for 3. It is... What's the time between shots? 3 seconds? Yeah. 3
Which
seconds.
Which is fairly standard, 3 seconds between shots, isn't it?
So it's not bang, 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 like... What's the Progetto? Is the Progetto less? Actually, let's just do that. Let's bring the Progetto
Well,
up.
I think it is.
Progetto is kind of the, what is it? That's Italy. Progetto is kind of the one you measure it against because it's so good. So let's see what we get with the Progetto. I got to knock all this down because I have a Progetto. I'll actually give it its gold round just for giggles. There we go. All right, so let's see how these two compare. Can everyone see that? All right, good. Let's put it in the middle too. Get rid of that, and we'll get rid of one more here. There we go. You should be able to see most of the numbers. All right, so we're looking at more gold pen, more alpha. The Progetto reloads a lot faster, though. That gives us a DPM that's lower than the Progetto. Well, that's kind of painful. 18 seconds for that first shell. Wow. So the Progetto's up and rolling all 3 shells in 25 seconds, and you're taking 44. You are hitting harder. You are hitting harder, but that's significantly more.
But that is, I mean, given the gameplay, you don't want to be out of the game for nearly a minute. You know, if you're only out of the game for 30-odd seconds, or, you know, half a minute, it's a big difference in the game. Yeah. Sutek makes a good point, actually. The AMBT could possibly be compared against the Bassanti.
It's a medium, though. You know what I mean? It's a medium, and the Progetto's a medium. I know what you're talking about, but both -9. Now this is a good example of overpowered tanks where it's the Progetto's numbers are all within the range of general medium tanks, but because they're all good in the good range, you're talking about a .32 dispersion tank.
Yeah.
With a reloader that is much faster, and yes, you're only getting 240 alpha, but you're going to get much more usable DPM out of it. First off, the gross DPM is more, but the usable DPM is more.
Yeah.
Right?
Given gameplay that it is.
And it's more accurate, which makes its penetration or its usable DPM more. It does suffer a little bit in gold penetration. No armor to speak of, really. That's the one thing the AMBT has all over it. It's 250 turret, which is going to be useful for turret games.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be useful for turret games.
A lot of good points coming out in chat, Guido. I mean, Defect Watt says look at the Rex at the same time. That might be another comparison that we could look at.
Oh yeah. All right, let's get the Rex. Here, we'll do what I am nothing if not a man of the people. We will get both the Rex. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do the 3 mediums. We'll put the Basante on the end of that thing. Aston Rex. There we go. And then we'll add the Bascanti here. See how they all shake out. Basante is also Italy, right? There we go. All right, cool. Let me configure these bad boys. We'll get rid of all the goodies. We will put some gold armor in them. So let's just go standard ammo and see first what's going on with that.
Yeah, that'll be the interesting. I mean, we know that the Basantes are heavy, but just the comparison on reload, dispersion, and all the rest of it would be interesting.
We're going to get rid of modifications as well. 100% crew. Apply. So we've got to mess around with these a little bit. Got that. Oh, we had cola left on there. We got to get rid of that. Same thing here. Did we... Nope, no cola, none of that crap. We're going to go to standard round. We'll go back to the standard round on this guy. Did I miss a standard round somewhere? No. All right, I think we got them basically all standarded out. Standard. Hey, Cool, how are you? All right, can everybody see these? Yeah. All right. I'm going to move you, Pilgrim. Hold on.
Please do.
Hold on. All right, there we go.
Put me on top.
Oh, boy. Yo, jeez.
I feel all dizzy. Oh, hang on.
All right. So we've got a 360 as advertised by you guys. It is comparable to the heavy, so all within more or less the range. The Astron does have a really anemic pen, but the Astron's also running around with 5 shells in the clip. Everyone else has 3. The Astron is also a true autoloader, not an auto reloader, which the other 3 are. Yeah. Right there. Let's see. So 25 seconds, 33, 44, 42. So yes, the AMBT is in the Basanti range of timing for the gun. Very similar. All good gun depressions. All within a degree. Aiming time. Aston Rex has a clear advantage right there. And it looks like the AMBT and the AMBT is in Basanti range of aiming, and that is painful. I do remember that from the Basanti. It just feels like it takes a long time.
Yeah, long time
for it to aim in. Accuracy-wise, it's sort of in between the Progetto and the Basanti. Both the Astra and the Basanti are derpy guns.
Yeah.
The MBT is a little better than them, but it's not Progetto level. And this is where the Progetto is just ridiculous. The aim time's pretty good. The dispersion's good. The reload's fast. It just can drop paint. And it still has the DPM advantage over all four of them, or all three of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Despite being a heavy, interestingly, all the hit points are within the same range. This is a relatively weak, in terms of hit points, heavy right there, the Basanti is.
Now, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
That is interesting. You wouldn't think so, playing it.
Yeah. So it's a little bit low on hit points, it would seem. Turret armor, it looks like the AMBT wins, although the Astron is decent. And the Basanti, is it spaced armor on the Basanti? I think that's one of the things the Basanti has going. That is it just me, or is there some spaced armor? I think there is. Could be wrong. Could be wrong.
Yeah, probably.
I bounce off its turret a lot. I do know that.
Yeah.
Mobility wise, look at this. That's weight will load limit. Hold on, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Basanti does move out, doesn't it? I mean, it's keeping up with the Astron and the Progetto, not too bad.
Yeah.
And the AMBT is quite sluggish. So the AMBT is feeling more heavy-ish in terms of speed. Let me just zip this up so you guys can see it. Space.
Right,
there you go. Thanks, Mindswerve. There you go. Yep, I thought it was spaced on the cheeks right there. Traverse speeds. Holy cow. You know what? I wondered about that. Let me make sure my configuration is correct. I don't have anything on this, right? Yeah. When you play the Astron, we played it on stream. Remember, I played it yesterday or 2 days ago when we were streaming. Where the hell did it go?
Yeah.
Oh, down here. And I remember playing it going, every time I touch the left or right, the A or D key, it feels like it wants to spin up its own arsehole. That's why. It has a ridiculous traverse speed of 62.58. I mean, that thing will just like spin up its own rear end, man.
But it makes you wonder why that stat's in there like that. I mean,
I don't know. Well,
multiple bogeys. I don't know.
Well, it's a really short length.
It is, isn't it?
Whatever I'm trying to say there. Chassis length. It's very. Holy crap! Sorry, there, Mr. Yeti. Very short chassis length, so obviously that's going to help it spin around. Attack Gross, how are you, man? Someone said specific power, so Progetto's got a bunch of. I mean, he's just got specific power for days. So does the MBT actually. Despite being overall very much slower, it looks like it will get up to its 40 pretty good.
Okay.
But what you're not seeing is the resistances and things. That's not on here, so you can go to tanks.gg to track all that crap down.
Yeah.
And let's see. All within 10 on view range. For a medium, that does kind of suck having 380. That's more Basanti level. It'd be nicer if it was 390 or whatever.
Yeah.
So the question was, is it worth it? Man, I don't know, man. I think the Progetto's better. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what people think. Because personally, I think the Progetto's better. It feels whether there's any. We keep saying this hidden stats, soft stats, whatever. It just feels like a really effective tank.
It's got everything, right? It's got everything. Yeah. The only thing it doesn't have is armor, but the way you play it, that's not as big a negative.
No, you're not gonna face brawl anything in a Progetto, but if you use it like it's supposed to be used, it's just an all round better medium tank.
I think Artillery Bugs has kind of nailed it. Prague is just better at being a medium. The AMBT is going to be one of these odd hybrid things that can kind of act like a medium, can kind of act like a heavy, and that doesn't always work in the game. Sometimes it does if it has enough an advantage. I think its turret at 250 at tier and lower is going to be pretty brutal. It's going to be able to kind of get into turret places and do some good work.
Yeah,
I think that's good.
I think also the discussion we had, I think it was yesterday on stream about grouses and things like that. You could possibly make the AMBT somewhat quicker, turbo grouses, but at the cost of what? What else would you put on as equipment that you would prefer to have as opposed to making it faster? So you could make it faster, but you would lose something by doing that.
I don't. It's not accurate like a Centurion Doctor Who, and it hits much harder for 360. That's the other thing I wanted to say. There is going to be a little bit of a fear factor with the gun. Not amazing, but if you're going to try to trade with this thing and you're going to eat 360 shells, you trade with a Progetto and eat its 3 shells, you're 700 damage or something like that.
Yeah.
You trade with the MBT, it's $1,000.
Yeah,
pretty
exactly.
Much,
Exactly.
And so. That's a little bit, and then that goes to what someone was saying. It's more of a heavy gameplay based on what he's been watching people play, and I would agree that's probably.
Yeah.
And so Defects is going back to closer to the Basante. So yeah. Now here's the funny thing about all of that though, because what happens in World of Tanks is it's got the medium tag on it, right? So players, when they get into it, and they don't really think about what the tank is good at, they're going to go to the medium place.
Yes.
You know? And that may or may not be a good idea based on its strengths.
Yeah.
I think it will bully other mediums.
For it to develop it. Yeah, like every tank that is slightly, it's not an outlier, but slightly heading that way, it will take time for the player base to actually work it out. And you're quite right. Initially, it'll go to the medium place and just find itself struggling. And then people will get an opinion about it and go, it's rubbish. You know what I mean? But actually, it might be very effective in the right place. Like any tank, it'll be effective in the right place.
It will be. Heisenberg's right. And most of the auto reloaders and autoloaders are, if you maintain votes towards the end of the game, they're good. But when you start talking auto reloader that is always in the game, they're even worse. Right? Yeah. They're even tougher. And somebody manages the auto reloader mechanism well, that's hard to beat.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat. So worth it? I think so. I mean, if you're flush with gold from Christmas, are you a collector or okay? So if you're looking for the next world killer, I don't think it's the next world killer.
No.
If you're looking for a solid tank, I think it's a solid tank. Is it better than Progetto? I don't think so. In certain situations it will be, but not overall.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, I mean, look, Artillery Bugs was saying starting point is 9,000 gold. I think when people talk about is it worth it, it's only worth it if you've got the money to do it and you want to do it and you're a collector or whatever, or it's worth it if you don't mind spending whatever the gold it's going to come out, because it's not going to stay at 9,000. You're quite right, Artillery Bugs. It's going to go way.
Well, what are you going to do with your gold? Right? How much do you have, and what's your plan? Are you do you have your year of premium to get you through to next Christmas? All right, good.
Yeah.
Do you have enough to get through and buy the extra battle pass thing, whatever it is, the bonus pass or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, that should be 2,500, 3,000 a season or whatever.
Yeah.
Episode or whatever the hell they call it. So do you have enough for that? Do you have enough for your year of premium, however you want to do it? If you do, and you're still sitting on 60, 70, 80,000.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Like I said, when people say, is it worth it? All you can do is give the stats out and the play style and go, is it worth it to you as a player? It's
probably better than the majority of tanks you can get for bonds or gold in the tech tree. Not all of them, but a good number of them. And most of you sitting here have been playing this game for a long time. Most of you have a shit ton of tanks in your garage, I would assume. I know you do. For the newer guys who might be going, okay, I do have to make kind of a calculation here, I would get a Progetto.
Yeah, absolutely. If that's the raison d'entre, absolutely get the Progetto. That don't spend massive gold on that if you've got an opportunity to get the Progetto. Absolutely. But that's an opinion.
But then you have the argument. See, I'm going to play devil's advocate and feed on both sides of the fence. I can't get the Progetto right now.
Yeah. So
I'm
do you
looking
go-
at the
yeah.
AMBT. That's what's
Yeah.
available, right? So
Yeah,
that's where we are in that one, man. Do you think it'll go
Yeah.
for more than 40K?
Oh, that I Wargaming have their own thoughts and ideas. Of course they do. It's their company, their business. But to put an auction out like that without having a price cap, without saying, okay, we're not allowed anybody to bid above this level or whatever, it's just bloody ridiculous.
Wayne,
You
Wayne
start to
needs
look at some of the prices and you're thinking, oh my goodness me.
Wayne just needs another tank to lose in. Then this will fit
Yeah.
that bill, my friend. This will fit that bill. A good point about the prosciutto not being forgiving. That's true. I'm more in the camp of my assumption is we will all get better as we go. So don't worry too much about getting hard to play tanks, because part of learning the game is learning the game.
Yeah.
So go for it. But yes, it is a fact that at a given skill level, beginner, average, you play those two, the AMBT will be more forgiving. It will take more hits. It will not get you in as much trouble as a Progetto is. But I think you won't necessarily learn as much, I guess.
No.
Now, why does this say standard and configured? What have I done? I guess because I've moved stuff around. It's interesting that this one says standard and the rest are configured, though. I'm not really sure why it's doing that. It's weird.
There's a couple of questions. Some people are asking for further comparisons, Guido. I don't know. If
Okay, where's that?
Proto AMX is another one to compare it against.
Is that you talking about the new AMX thing?
Could possibly be.
Yeah, but that's a
then-
cyclical gun, so that's kind of a.
Yeah.
That's more just an opinion. More, we're talking about the AMX 30
And then
right
the
here.
Pantera was asked to be thrown up as
Ooh,
a
the
comparison.
Pantera, yeah.
Because it's a Tech 3 tank.
Let's get rid of those. And the Pantera.
Yeah, Sutek. Yeah, you're right.
What do you say?
He's saying fools in the money
Yeah.
are easily parted. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a great idea having an auction, but for those tanks that are unique and there's no other way of getting them, or there's a different way of getting them, but it's difficult, like bonds and so on. I think it's a great idea. I really do, but I really do think that the thing with an auction is you can get led down the nose by the bidding war type thing and people get involved in it and all the rest of it. So you have to have some sort of, I would suggest personally, have a price cap and go, nobody can bid above this level because it's getting ridiculous. I mean, what did you bid for that tank that destroyed the game? I think it was like you
The 59G?
Yeah.
I don't know. I paid like 100,000 gold for it or something like that.
Which is fine because you were happy to do that, and it's it's within your, you know what I mean. But for me, you've got to say that is ridiculous, isn't it?
Well, that's not even close to what I spent trying to get Chuck up to something useful in the Manicore. He was like the $4,000 commander.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, for those of you who don't know the story, that's all Wargaming's money, right? I'm a CC, have been for 3 years. I have a stack of stuff that they give me to create content, so I use it. That's not me putting $4,000 into gold, right? So it's easy to laugh about and go, ha ha, I spent all this money or whatever. I didn't really spend a damn dime. They just gave me that content so I could create content. So I use it. I have 128,000 right now, which is kind of funny because what happened is, as I've been going back and forth trying to make sure everyone who I had on my list to get stuff got it, I sent one set of boxes to the wrong person, who was a account that hadn't played for 8 years.
So they're sitting on that account, not been.
Well, what happens when the Christmas season ended, and I didn't realize this, I thought the money would go back into my account. Nope, the boxes go into your account, and then they got auto opened. So I had another, I got another 50 boxes at the end of the season I didn't know about. That's why it cranked up another 30 grand,
Right.
almost 30 grand in gold. So now I ended up spending, another 80. I did actually spend real money on that. So there you go. Reference a fool and their money are soon parted. Fool.
Yeah.
All right, Pantera and AMX 30.
Build quite well.
Thank you. The AMX 30 is a cyclical gun, and I don't know, maybe they're talking more about the armor or whatever. But even this thing, it is quite bouncy, but the armor's not amazing on it. You're sitting at minus 11. We've got comparable gun stats. It does have a. No, it's only 300 on the Alpha. Right there. So I don't know. I don't think it really compares exactly. It's almost a completely different tank, really, when you start talking about the single shot stuff. But the Pantera, I think, is a more interesting comparison. It's sitting at 240. Yeah. What is its? So its DPM is the same as the AMBT. It is an accurate gun, much like the Progetto. It only has minus 8. Aim time is good, Progetto-esque. I guess these two are using the same gun, it looks like, more or less. Slightly longer on the total reload, though. Isn't that just awesome?
Yeah.
Tech Tree Tank Premium. It's just I'm just going to drop out that one right there so we can look at them. Tech Tree Premium. Look at the advantages. An extra degree of gun depression, faster reload time. Basically, it's the same gun, I think. Same aiming time, but dispersion the same, but we get that extra little DPM off of the Progetto. Yeah. And we get down here. There's a little more armor on the Pantera, but not really. Essentially not usable.
No, not really.
And then we get down here, and speed-wise, the Pantera is actually faster. It doesn't feel like it, does it?
No.
Specific power is better. That's interesting. Maybe the terrain resistances are very much different. I feel like the Progetto...
we come back to this thing, not strictly soft stats, but gameplay. So, you're there you go, you're back.
Camera's on the struggle bus.
Yeah. I think it's more to do with how you actually approach the game and how you use that tanking game, and it doesn't feel as like its stats say it should feel. Not at all. I think that's a lot of tanks are like that.
I just feel like the Progetto's more nimble than the Pantera.
Yeah.
Even though these stats kind of make the Pantera look like it should be. It's got more engine power. It's got more specific power. It's got a higher top end. I don't know. I do like the Pantera. It's not a bad Tech Tree tank.
No, it's not a bad tank.
Progetto's
Hisenberg was on about AMBT, the envelope, the egg of the book. I'm a bit confused now. I need to know what all that means.
That was the teaser video.
Oh, okay.
Which one was the AMBT? That's a great question. I have no idea. Don't know. What's left? The Quillin.
Yeah.
And what was the other one that was the speculation? I don't remember. Where is it?
No, I haven't got it on the list. I can't remember now. Yeah, well, what will be the marathon?
59G. 59G. Thank
59G,
you. Thank you. That's the guess. 59G. So I don't need a G. I've got one. And then Quillin. I would like to get the Quillin. I want to see the fire thing go on. That was one I was a little bit bummed I missed last time on the black market. So it's a cool 3D skin, I think.
Yeah, I seriously like your Christmas sweater, your jumper. You've got on. I can't remember which tank you've got it. Oh, the Torn van. You've got it on the Torn.
Oh, you got to. Yeah, he lives in Sweden. It's cold up there in the winter.
You've got to have a jumper on.
Yeah,
or you guys
Sweden. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I just chuckle every time I see it. It just makes me laugh. I don't know why. Rather odd.
So I hope that answered your question. We went all over the place on that, but there you have it. I am going to do some reviews on these things. Not that it's going to help anybody with buying it or not, because it'll all be over by then. But I'm gonna end up playing this thing, the Beijing.
Nice after the fact.
Yeah. So I want to try this version 5, and I'm really interested to see how that thing actually works in the game.
I just wonder whether, I mean, it's just a number, but is it going to be the version 4 equivalent in the game?
I don't think so. It's not. It's just not going to have that brain dead push into people's face and smash them in the face idea that the version 4 is, because it'll get pretty beat up. It's got okayish armor, but it's not anywhere near the version 4's kind of idea. No. But it's got a turret and it's fairly mobile, so it's going to be a bit of a trick.
Yeah.
China's getting the WT100. That's my understanding. The China server got it in this thing.
Okay.
Because I don't think they're getting
the old Waffentrager, the old one.
Yeah.
They're bringing that back.
Yeah, on the Chinese server, a premium version of it. Yeah, I think they already did actually once, right? Isn't this the second time?
Good grief. Good grief.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, yeah. Well,
Oh, this is just a skin for it. Okay, there you go.
all right.
Yeah, someone brought up a good point about the AMBT that it. Can we actually look at it in here? Hold on. I think I can. Where is the? I thought there was a way to.
Just look at the tank in the garage.
Yeah, from here, I thought there was, but I guess not. I don't see it.
It's in the background of the garage.
Oh,
you
right.
go back to the photo.
Good call. Good call. We can do it this way. That's true. Because then we got
Yeah,
this
you
guy.
can move me if you like. I'm getting ready for the vertigo. If you want to move me.
There we go. Yeah, it is a slender turret, so I don't know what the top.
Isn't it? Look at the shape and the angle on that.
Yeah, so that's going to increase the. What is the damn word? Relative, applicable, armor. What am I looking for here?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's the term. It's the term for the taking the thickness into account. Somebody help me. Somebody help me down there. The relative. Relative. Maybe it is relative. This is not great though. Look at this. Big old bottom plate.
Yeah.
That's going to be very bouncy, but why would you even aim there when you got this massive lower plate just staring at you?
Yeah. There's going to be one of those hatches is going to be a weak spot anyway. But
Well, I imagine that's a weak spot right there.
Right at the very top of the turret there.
That part goes behind a rock. Good call. Let's go find out if it's in tanks.gg right now.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Actually, I was going to mention.
I'm sure it is.
Tanks
Full
museum might
tank
not be there.
list. Go to US. Tier 8. AMBT. Where are you? It's heavy tanks. That's why you can't see it, dummy. There we go. Yep, it's in. And let's get the live. And we'll bring this up over here. Schwabang. All right, here we go, folks. This is it. Whoa, look at that. Where's my mouse? There it is. Yikes.
Yeah.
That is pen all day.
So that is
the part that goes behind a rock.
Yeah,
put that behind a rock.
Yeah.
Effective
ank. Doesn't take much.
Effective armor.
Yeah.
Effective armor. That's the daggum word I was looking for.
Effective armor.
Auto bounce trying to shoot this. Is this a weak spot? No, not really. Whoa. Well, I guess kind of. No.
You see how much you only have to move the turret by a small angle for it to become green?
Yeah, look at that.
That's scary, isn't it? Look at that
so you want to keep that straight on. Now that's bouncy because a lot of that is auto bounce. And then we got a not amazing. Yeah, it is bounce. Pretty good matlet, I guess. But look at this right underneath here. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Any sort of look up.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Look at that shot trap right there. Ooh. Ouch. That's kind of weird. Yeah, that's not great right there. I wonder. I'm take it in a training room and try to shoot there and bounce it in and see if you can pin in the old shot trap. But that's where you want to shoot this bad boy. If you're playing turret games and you can see that part, which you should be able to.
Yeah.
Now that is a weak spot up here too, and it's only 70 straight on. That's not much at all. Definitely weak spot. That's horrible right there. Yikes.
Yeah.
You look for that kind of thing on a lot of tanks, although they're not most of them aren't designed like this, but that ring area right there can often be quite weak.
Yeah.
So it's got some vices, man. Big old lower plate. This little goofy area got a little weak spot up top there too.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. Fairly standard though, with it apart from the lower plate being abysmal. Cardboard armor on the lower plate. Fairly standard pen points anyway, isn't it? Weak spots.
Yeah, good point, Sutek. Overmatch. So all you have to do is hit it. Never mind trying to pin it. So even if you get a little offset and end up having higher effective armor, you're going to overmatch it with a 122.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't it weird how the Russian tanks have 122s and all the Western tanks just have 120s? And
It's just funny. You would think, wouldn't you?
it's so weird. And 40 millimeters seems to be kind of a popular number to use.
Yeah.
You know,
Working as intended, Commodore.
yeah. Any triple thickness that just is right under the 122, but not under the 120. Yeah,
That's how it rolls.
it's weird how that works. Very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a competition, my friend. Let's do
I
that.
do, yes. I've forgotten all about that, actually. Yeah, this is, again...
Hey,
it's
actually,
just
you know what?
fun.
Let's take 5 minutes.
Good idea.
Yeah, my eyeballs are floating. 5 minutes, guys. We're going to come back with a competition and wrap it up. But let us get up real quick and, do what you do, folks. All right? You know what I mean? As soon as I find my break thing. Here we go. Oh, now we're back.
Now we're back.
Now we're back. All right. I sold 430, but it was fun. 1357 and even 90. They're both overpowered and both good. Absolutely, man. Henry, you got it, Wayne. You nailed it, my friend.
Wayne's got it before I've even done
Preemptive strikes, man. You gotta like those. You gotta like the preemptive.
I'm gonna change the questions now so Wayne can't win.
Hold on. Yeah, the order will now be Plymouth Rock, Pilgrinomics, and Henry VIII. I am. Henry VIII, I am. All right, go to it, Pilgrim. You got the floor.
Right, here we go. It's a 4-part question because I've been away and abandoned you all last week, so it's a 4-part question. But it's still only for 500 gold because it's only for fun, guys. 500 gold will get you a commander change or something, whatever. Anyway, 500 gold to the first person that comes up with the correct 4 answers. And correct to the answers that I've got written down, not what you get off Wikipedia, guys. So it's down to Pilgrim.
So really the answers could be random, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. The answers are completely random and it's Pilgrinomics applied at its best. Okay?
Excellent.
So here we are. Question 1. Get your Wikipedia fingers going. Question 1. There was a German tank that was designed, made and produced during the Second World War specifically to counter the T-34. What I need to know is its full name. So it'll be something, something, something.
So say it again. A tank that what?
It was a tank that was specifically designed, made and produced to counter the Soviet T-34.
Okay.
And it was actually very successful at doing that. All right, so that's question 1. Question 2. What was the original name of that great TD, the Ferdinand? It was named after Ferdinand Porsche, but it had an original name, which it was generally known as. It was not known as the Ferdinand. It was known as this other word. Yeah. Question 3. Question 3. What was the largest gun that was ever put onto an M4 variant, the American M4? What was the largest gun that was ever used? And I'll give you a clue, guys. It was put on the M41B or the M4A6. So there's the clue. Right, final question. Question 4 out of 4. The 15th Pennsylvania Cavalry that were formed in the Civil War, your Civil War, not mine, right? Not UK, but the American Civil War. They had another name. They were called something Cavalry. What was that name? All right. If you get the 4 answers all together, not one after the other later on when you Googled it, all 4 answers together in a oneer. Artillery bugs, plum pudding, houseflies, big bottom girls, and dental floss. Yeah, that's worth 500 on its own.
Yeah.
So I'll run it over again for you guys. What was the name of the German tank that was designed specifically to counter the T-34? What was the Ferdinand's original name? What was the largest gun on the M4 American tank? And the 15th Pennsylvania Cavalry were called what by a different name?
Sons of Guns.
Yeah. I just wonder out of Artillery Bug's answers, which questions did they apply to? I mean, was the cavalry called Big Bottom Girls? Is that what you're saying? If it's any clue, guys, the 15th Pennsylvania were Union cavalry. For all of you Southerners.
They could be Big Bottom Boys, wouldn't it? In
those
days, anyway.
That'd be a bit suspicious, wouldn't it? Nobody calls... Unless you're in the Navy, I guess.
In the Navy.
Yeah, that's the one.
You can sail the 7 seas.
Doctor Who's too old for multiple questions. So, German tank made specifically to counter the T-34. Name of. Ferdinand's original name. M4's largest gun. And what was the 15th Pennsylvania Cavalry known as? Can't be that difficult, gents.
Damn Yankees.
500 gold?
It's known as the dang Yankees.
Maybe I shouldn't offer gold because everybody's got all these loot box golds from Christmas. Maybe I should offer an hour's tuition with Pilgrim and the training room. Do you think people take
only if you train only if you train Pilgrinomics.
Matt. Pilgrinomics. An hour in the training room with Pilgrinomics. Get your week. All right, get your Google and Wiki fingers going, guys. If nobody gets it this week, I'll roll it over to next week. It'll still be 500 gold and the same questions.
That's weird. Did I just dismiss Zero Brothers in Arms, guys?
Oh, you didn't?
Well, I don't know. I didn't think so. I thought they were just 100%, but this guy seems to be something other.
Oh.
Oh, enter the perk 0.
Yeah, you can answer here.
Oh, because I put Brothers in Arms on him to see if he had a perk. All right, that makes sense. Now
okay.
I know what's happening. I cleared out all my dead wood out of my barracks yesterday. It took about 30 minutes. Panther,
There you
Elephant,
go.
105,
There you go.
Anderson, Calvary.
Mindswerve, you have won your 500 gold, sir. That is the correct all the way down. The Panther, it was called the Panzer V Panther. The Ferdinand was the Elephant, and the 105 gun was the biggest gun on the M4. And yes, they were called the Anderson Cavalry. Well done, buddy. Mindswerve, if you want to whisper me your in-game name and server, I'll drop you the 500 gold this afternoon, buddy.
Is that the Israeli tank, the one that's actually in the French line? The Revolorize?
Is it? I didn't know it was Israeli. Or you googled the last one. I'll actually whisper you, buddy.
I think the Rev is actually an Israeli tank, right? It was upgraded.
Was it?
It was upgraded by the French.
Didn't know that.
Is that the tank that has the 105? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
It does have a 105.
Well, no, I'll tell you the version it was. It was the M41B or the M4A6.
But is that the Rev in the game? M4A6.
Could well be, actually. I'm just thinking, yeah, whether Wargaming actually did. Could well be, actually.
I guess it has like a 105 derp, I think. The M4A6, don't know. M4 Sherman. Tank. This is where we get in trouble because we start looking stuff up and then we find that there's like...
Oh yeah, it's only down to what the answers that I got, not anybody else. It's just my answers. And Mindswerve got my answers right, so I don't care what Wikipedia says.
I mean, a 105 is a 105, so that may be, 105 is a 105. It's a 105 howitzer, yeah. Well, the Rev is carrying a 105 rifled. I mean, it's got a no kidding. That's the
very
Israeli.
the Rev is very accurate. Yeah.
That's the M4A1. Yeah, it's a French tier 8. Well, in the game, it's never mind. What is it really though? Problem is when you look up tanks these days, the first thing you get is all of the World of Tanks stuff. So you're trying to find the actual facts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so popular now. You get the fictitious nonsense instead of the real stuff.
I guess that's the Super Sherman. Is that what it is? Don't know.
I guess it must be.
There's a picture of it here. It's actually pretty cool. Super Sherman. M50 and the M51, referred to as a Super Sherman. Served with their Israeli Defense Forces. I don't know if that's actually the Rev though, because it's got square armor. So I think that's even different than the Revolorice.
Yeah.
Anywho, there you go.
Jesper's first time viewer. Unfortunately, we're right at the end of the coffee talk.
Jesper, hello, how are you? Welcome. Yeah, we're just finishing up, my friend. We do this every Sunday. Starts at 7. We go for an hour and a half, 2 hours or so. And we just talk tanks sometimes, and a lot of other bollocks. Anybody else got any questions, comments? The Super Shermans use 75s. Did they? Really? Yeah, it does look like a smaller gun. What is it? Let's see. It is an Israeli tank, though. Yeah. I don't know what the Rev is. Well, what's it say, actually, here? It says... Not that this is any kind of truth, but supplied to France. French Design Bureau started modernizing the M51 for the Israeli. The tank never saw service. Okay, so this was a prototype in France. All right, so that never mind. That is not the Israeli. The Super Sherman. You can see the picture of it, and it says it's got, what, 75 or whatever it was that Cliffy said. There you go. Fireflies. The M51 used a French 105. Oh, no kidding. Cool. But this is not the same.
There's an interesting fact that Mindswerve came up with on just a quick whisper to me there, was that the Panther was in production prior to the T-34 showing its face, but it was adapted. And I do remember reading that actually it was adapted to deal with the T-34. So yeah, the Panther was in production, but they altered part of the design because of the T-34. So they responded to that and they used Zimmerite coating. I don't know if you've seen that, everybody. Zimmerite coating. You might see it in Bobbington.
I just saw that. I just saw that video. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just see. You probably had the same video come up and watched it, I'd imagine.
Yeah, probably. And it was supposed to stop things like limpet mines being attached. You know, the old sticky bomb and all that sort of stuff. Whether it worked or not was a different matter. I don't think I would rely on a lump of paint to protect me from idiots with sticky bombs, to be honest. But, you know, hey ho.
Someone asked if the ST2 is good. It's okay. I've got the 3D style on it. The problem with it is it's a tier 9 hull, in game terms anyway. It's a up-tiered hull. So it's, I don't know. It does have the double boomsticks though. I mean, it can slap you hard. What's pretty funny about it though is the Skoda T56 hits harder than it does.
Yeah. And one of the frustrating things about the double boomstick is if you fire and both rounds bounce, you're like, no. You spend all that time getting the aiming circle down, getting ready, watching the thing go round, fire, but both of them bounce. At least one of them would penetrate, you would think, wouldn't you?
Yeah. So it's a. I would say can be a fun tank. It has a double barrel. You can have the double boomstick. 440 is not really that amazing, and in terms of being a meta tank, it is not. So let's be honest, it's not a meta tank. It's an interesting tank. You don't see many of them. They're not played because they're not really great. Yes, the Skoda is totally broken, 100%.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
So I hope that answered your question, man. I don't think it would be the first line I would go down in the Russian lines. You know, there's a lot of other heavies that are way better than it. I mean, almost every one of the Russian heavies is better. It's probably the last, I would imagine, actually.
Yeah.
Other than the unique double barrel thing.
I went down the double barrel thing on the EU account just for something different to do.
Well, yeah, absolutely. My recommendation in this game is go play the things you like, and if you like double barrel tanks, then man, go for it. Go unlock it.
But I wish I hadn't now because it's a free-to-play account on my EU, and I've spent so long getting there, and now it's crap. And I wish I'd gone down the IS-7 line.
So you can do the speed build, the IS-7 speed build, and show up in places light tanks show up in.
Yeah.
So I've seen some people doing that.
And everything,
yeah, I've seen some people doing that, doing the just maximum everything on mobility and speed.
Yeah.
And it's silly how fast the thing is.
Well, and you don't need to worry about the armor or doing anything to increase the gun handling or anything, do you? You just stick everything you can on to make it go faster, then turn up at a horrible place.
Yeah. Yep.
Brilliant.
Generally, that turns into overextended and dead, but
yes, because you get circled by the mediums.
It can be fun.
Ah, dear.
Yeah, Dez does a lot of those. Yeah, and they can be funny, but most of the time you don't do well. Like, what is it? Speed.
See, Stoic's in the house. Look, Stoic.
Hey, Stoic. Stoic septic. Yes. I mean, I don't have a speed build going on. I'm already at 60.
Oh, are you?
Right, 59.6, and I'm not. All I've done is thrown vents on it and have brothers in arms. I don't even have brothers in arms. Holy cow! So
I mean, you could sort of do the same thing with the Defender, couldn't you? You know, because the Defender is one of those op tanks that you could make it just go faster, just get into trouble faster.
Yeah.
And go as a platoon, go as 3 of you with turbos on. That would be awesome.
So what can you actually do with this thing? Let's find out. So we'll do this. We'll get Brothers in Arms. I'll leave my current crew. This is all the stuff. This is all this. We'll just do everything here. We're just giving it everything. We'll field mod it up to there. And what do we got? Traverse, maintaining speed. That might be a player potentially. Aiming circle. Oh no, that's aiming stuff. View range. What we got here? Ooh, extra 4 miles an hour. Let's do that. And let's just traverse into something. What is this? Let's give. Oh, it's a negative. That seems like about the best I guess we can get. What else can we do? We can put food on, right?
Yeah, food would definitely help things.
Stop it.
How fast? The discussion we had about the AMBT was the Progetto is a better tank to get, but you're stuck because the Progetto is not available. So the Progetto would be the one to go for, but the AMBT worth it. But starting bid is 9,000 gold as artillery bugser, so you're going to pay a lot of gold for it if you want it.
So we got a special we got the good turbo in the bonus slot.
That's the one. That's the one.
What else do we need?
And a directive. Is there a directive for turbo? I don't think there is there?
Well, before we get to that, guys, what should we do speed-wise? We have vents. Is there something else I should put in here speed-wise? What do we got? What's special here? Do we want
grousers? What about grousers? Does that make any difference?
bounty protection, exhaust, aiming, hardening, Oh, that's right. It doesn't help the bond turbo. You're right. You're right. I don't. What else should I put on there, dudes? Does anything else help? High octane. That's a good point. That's here, right? Well, no. Oh, so let's just get rid of like repair stuff. Let's just put the best octane thing on there too.
Oh yeah. Fuel. Yeah,
so
fuel.
We'll just boost that up. We're gonna put. We need even though we're not getting a bonus, we are going to use the special vents. Where are they? There we go. And then what else here? Oh, remove speed go. Okay, so that
There's a speed governor on it.
Yeah,
somebody was saying, Doctor Who's saying the speed governor.
I don't think there's anything else that helps grousers, but there's no bonus grousers.
Yeah, I don't. We talked about somebody talked about grousers. It can have an effect on some tanks, not all of them.
Let's just do that.
But I never even figured it. Yeah.
And then we're going to do remove speed governor for crew or something, or is this actually equipment? What do we got here? Here it is. Filter replacement. What's that do? Extra power. All right.
Just had a follow, mate.
Right on. Thanks, Repic. Also, Mustang Cobra Jet and Mineswerve. Welcome. So what did this get us? How fast are we? Where is this thing? It got us to 68.4. No, that's not the speed, you dummy. 69.6.
I'm going to try that this afternoon. I'm going to do that this afternoon and take that IS-7 out and give it a run for its money, see what we do. That's got to be awesome.
All right, so 69, almost 70 kilometers an hour build. And that may not be the perfect one either. I mean, I'm not an expert on those. Sometimes some of you guys may know a better plan on all of that, but...
You're just going to turn up and then mediums are just arriving to get into position, and then you're going to sit there in front of them going... Hello.
I don't have some of this equipment, right? I don't have a improved, so I can't really do this. I can't get quite to this on my stuff because I don't have this equipment. I think I have a bond vent, but I don't have a bond turbo. The only way you could, what was the bond turbo? Was that only Clan Wars,
No, I
or
think
was it
yeah,
last year's ranked?
ranked. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was last year's ranked. Still, though, that's pretty insane. You're losing some
I'll get it right
DPM.
this afternoon, mate, I tell you. I might
I mean,
actually record it. I'll get
this,
OBS running and record it and just see. I want to see the look of surprise on the medium tanks as I come round the corner on them.
and then it doesn't show here, but you make sure you've got controlled impact, right?
Yes, so you can ram them at the
Yeah.
same time
So you can come at them at 70 in a.
in an IS-7.
How heavy is this
What's the
thing?
weight of the tank? It's got to be heavy.
And
Hasn't
it's 68-ton tank doing 70 kilometers an hour.
That has got to be off a cliff. That has got to be filmed. I'm gonna see if I can get it on OBS.
Yeah, so the
Hopefully.
grousers will help you, when you're traversing, and because you shave off speed when you traverse.
Right.
So it will help
Yeah,
you
yeah.
not shave off as much speed. So when you're turning, you'll keep your speed up.
Okay. All right. I'll try it this afternoon. I might get OBS running and try it and see.
Yeah, you can trade the grousers for spall liner to help your ramming. So that's
Yeah.
one trade-off you could make.
Okay.
That's
Cool.
pretty funny. All right, guys. That's about it, man. Got anything else, Pilgrim, for the people?
I'm done. We've got our competition winner.
All right. Well, we're gonna head right off into the sunshine, right off into the sunset. Should be streaming tomorrow. Should be streaming tomorrow day. Mustang Cobra. Do you guys hammer auction replace? I don't know, man. I don't have any SACC wise on that. They haven't said anything to us on whether it's a replacement. There is speculation that is true. I don't really know why they would do an auction and then a black market, but it's possible. If I was betting, well, every time I do that, I'm wrong, so I don't know.
It's probably just another string to the bow. It's just they may well bring black market in it in a different period of the year or whatever.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, I don't have any good answers for you on that, Mustang. All right. Oh, shovel snow. That sucks. All right, guys. That's all I've got from the left side of the Atlantic.
And from the correct side of the Atlantic, Pilgrim signing off, sir.
See you guys.